I'm Jeff Erickson. He's Jim Coventry. We're here to talk about week 3 rankings and where we're different from the pack or where Jim thinks I'm absolutely wrong. Either way, it works for us here. Jim, let's talk quarterbacks right away off the top. You're a Caleb Williams partisan this week. They're facing the Indianapolis Colts. Tell everybody, tell the world why you are higher than Caleb Williams than anybody else on this planet.
I probably shouldn't be. 93 yards in week 1, 147 yards, 2 picks in week 2. Doesn't have a single touchdown to his name. All right, Tennessee brought a lot of heat in week 1. I get it. The Texans blitzed them mercilessly. He gets the Colts. The Colts cannot generate any pressure. They play 88% zone, the highest rate in the league, and Juju Brents, our top corner, is on the IR. So this is a team completely toothless. Even bigger. Bears interior of offensive line has been a disaster. DeForest Buckner went out on the IR today. He's their biggest interior presence. They're not going to get any pressure. Williams is going to have time to throw. Malik Willis completed 12 of 14 passes for $122 and a touchdown against his defense. I think Caleb Williams could beat that bar.
I get it. And I think everybody holding those set the Bears passing record tickets on those prop bets for Caleb Williams are hoping you're right about this one here. I also saw, though, that we've seen back-to-back weeks where opposing running backs have had 30-plus carries against the Colts defense. They had to know what was coming against the Packers, and yet they still couldn't stop the run. Josh Jacobs went nuts. Joe Mixon went nuts in week 1. Granted, the Bears can't run the ball right now, but maybe they can against the Colts. Maybe it is a DeAndre Swift, Khalil Herbert week. I don't know. I'm more circumspect in my rankings. I have them all the way down at 25, Caleb Williams, I do, but I see the pathway there. Let's put it that way. It's just, do I trust the volume? Do I trust, do I trust?
Real quick, Jeff, and real quick, you have to think the Bears need to get this kid's confidence up. And this is an opponent where you do that. You don't need to get DeAndre Swift's confidence up. And again, I might be wrong. I put him at 60, way aggressive. I get it. You're probably more right than I am, but I just want to add that little caveat.
Chances are, if you have Caleb Williams in a super flex, you're using him anyhow. It's the debate is in normal managed single quarterback leagues is whether you're going to use him or say like Geno Smith, who threw it 44 times last week. I think that's where the debate really kind of kicks in. Let's move on to running back here. Running back is another place where we have something that's a little noteworthy. I am too high on Kyren Williams. You, who have been down on Kyren Williams all along, not as much as our colleague Mario Puig, but you have been down on him a little bit. You have him outside your top 20 this week.
I do. 2.5 yards per carry. Last year, Kyren Williams was a superstar. Why? Because the Rams ran what we call duo. It was downhill running. Their 3 interior linemen weighed 1,000 pounds, and they just completely pushed defenders off at the line of scrimmage. Well, this year, there is no interior line. Steve Avila, IR. Jonah Jackson, the center, IR. They're a disaster. They can't move anybody. Kyren Williams on his own is not a good running back. He needs the system. He doesn't have the system. The other problem is, all right, receiver. Maybe he gets it on there. 7 catches, 31 yards, 4.4 yards per catch. Now they play the 49ers. 49ers, they might not be world beaters on defense, but they can manhandle that line of the Rams. And I just don't see any opportunity where they're going to move the ball. I don't even know how the Rams are hitting 10 points in this game.
I'm persuaded. I'm moving him down. I had him in my top 10. I thought maybe he'd be a volume play and get there on volume. He still will be a volume play, mind you, Kyren Williams will, but I don't think that volume is going to be great. He could go 20 carries for 63 yards. I would not be surprised at that. But yeah, he's going to go down in my rankings as well. That's one oversight for me. We'll move on. You have persuaded me. I'm Jeff Erickson. He's Jim Coventry. If you like more videos like this, please hit that like button, smash the subscribe button so you know that these are coming up at any point in time. And check out RotoWire, rotowire.com/pod. You can get free, no credit card trial for RotoWire there. None at all. We've been doing this for 20 years, folks. We believe in that free trial. Give you a taste. You'll want to subscribe. Let's move on to wide receivers. I should like this section. I am a card-carrying West Coast Bengals fan here. You have Jamar Chase as your number 1. That's 1, people. Yes. Wide receiver this week. I've got him at 12. Convince me.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. So, more conditioning each week gets a little better with that. But here's the thing. The Washington Commanders, they can't rush the passer at all. They can't cover at all. The worst cornerback in the room in the league, probably. And here's the thing. Chase against NFC teams has been money. And my idea is this: teams that haven't seen him don't realize the real speed he has. Tape does not justify it. When you see him, he blows them away in the first game. In Chase's, in the last 2 years against NFC teams, he's averaging 113 yards and a touchdown. 4 of the 7 games, these are with Burrow. 4 of the 7 games with Burrow had 130 plus yards. And Jamar Chase had not had many 130-yard games in the last 2 years, but 4 of those games came against the NFC.
Counterpoint. The Chiefs bracketed Jamar Chase last week. Safety in a corner almost every single play. I understand that the quality of the coverage from the Commanders is no bueno, but they have volume. They can throw volume at the problem. If T. Higgins comes back on Monday night, then maybe we'll have this conversation and it'll be a little bit different. And in fact, I'm probably going to move Chase up pending practice reports Thursday and Friday and Saturday. But so far, I believe the Commanders have the internet too. They have an ability to go to watch the all 22 and they can see what the Chiefs are doing. And I think they're going to try to do something similar. That is my concern a little bit there. And meanwhile, the Bengals offensive line is what it is. It was not able to protect Burrow in week 1. It was a little bit better last week. I still think that's going to be a slight problem. So I am got some concerns about Chase. It might just me being a self-hating Bengals fan too.
Yeah. Just one more thing. The Chiefs know Jamar Chase extremely well. They have played against him many, many times. And Steve Spagnuolo is a genius. Maybe you're right, but the Commanders, I honestly don't think they could cover like the 15th best receiver in the league. Now, maybe that's just me being biased.
Fair enough. Tight ends. Unless you have Brock Bowers or George Kittle, you're probably unhappy with your production at tight end so far. Notably, Travis Kelce, who had 3 official targets last week. He had 1 wiped out, 1 catch wiped out via penalty. That would have changed his day a little bit there. But what's our level of concern with Travis Kelce? Is this he's getting older, he's getting washed? Is it teams are devoting more of their coverage toward them and maybe errantly so? What's your thought here on Travis Kelce?
I mean, last year we saw like the full bracket coverage on him every game because they had no downfield threat. Now they got the speed of Xavier Worthy and it doesn't even matter. There's nothing to justify this. He's playing 90% of the snaps. So those who said they would ease up on him this year, he's playing all the time. And if he's out there, you'd almost rather have him running a route than actually blocking because he's really not a blocker. So the fact that last week, just a single catch, it could be age. It's early in the season. But the fact that Kelce couldn't get back on track in week 2, that's really, really troubling.
See, I'm just going to go ebbs and flows of the regular season. I have him at 3 this week. It's down 2, but I've got Kittle and McBride ahead of him this week. I was tempted to put Bowers ahead of him too, actually, to be honest. Yeah, and I think many fine people have his ECR over at Fantasy Pros is 2. So yeah, a lot of people are there already on that. So I get it. But it's been an odd year for tight ends. So I think these things have a way of sorting themselves out. Sam Laporta managers aren't very happy right now either. You're fine because you are fading Laporta. I'm giving you all the due credit in the world for that one there, but at least fading at cost. I should clarify there.
Yes.